Hey, it's the podcast guy.
Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast.
And there it is! Sutton United at the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this. But the whistle goes down. Delight for Sutton United. Sutton United from the National League are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast in association with Lucky Star Gin. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me today is Claire. If you are a regular listener, thank you so much. I genuinely mean it. I know I say it a lot at the start of every episode, but I really do mean it. If you're new, hello. How nice to meet you. Do love hearing from people. Join the conversations, drop me emails, stay connected. At Sutton Podcast on all social medias. I am on them all, but I use some more than others. The shares and the likes get us in front of other people, so share the pain, share the love. Sorry. Claire, we had a very quick chat yesterday. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's been a very long week, but it's Friday tomorrow, so it's all good.
It feels like a really long week, but yet we should be thinking it's only Wednesday, but it's Thursday.
I'm confused.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're not confused. We're fine. There's a couple of things to talk about. Obviously, we won a game. We won a league game. Sorry, that's not fair. We've
won 3 and 3.
Yeah, we've run a more than a mini run now. That's got to be. We won a league game, which is the first since August, sometime in August. Someone said that. It must be true. So not really sure what we're supposed to do with the league game win. I can't remember what to do. But anyway, we're going to talk about another side of the club first of all. Club news, amazing club. Lots of people know that Frances was taken to hospital, and she has been, obviously she's a bit distracted with medical stuff, but outside the medical stuff, she has been absolutely tickled pink by the outpouring of support, love, and bullying by some people, because everyone's going, "Oh, do you need anything?" And I went, "I'm coming up. What do you want?" And she was like, "Oh, an apple would be nice." So I didn't buy an apple. I bought something else. I bought a fruit platter. But it was so nice to see. And when I spoke to her, she had mentioned that Aggie had called the night before, and she'd had an awful day. She was kind of pulled around, prodded, people talking at her. She didn't understand what was going on, and she was feeling quite miserable, and then picked up a voicemail that said call him, and she called him, and she was just so happy. You've never seen someone smile. Her face must have been hurting with these smiles. But Claire, I mean, obviously watching from afar, this is a club we both know. We do these things. But what's your feeling of kind of seeing it from afar, not far, but from a slightly different perspective to me, seeing all the fans' emotions, and then you're part of the club as well with other clubs?
It's just amazing, isn't it? And I think we've always prided ourselves on being that club and looking after our people, right? And regardless of who's in charge, like as fans and all that kind of stuff, we all band together and look after each other. And I've lost count over the years how many times I've signed cards for people who aren't around that you just miss. And I think that's one of the really special things about a club like ours, and I think something that sets us apart from, you go and watch a Premiership team week in, week out, but all they're really interested in is your money, right? And if you're not there, no one's going to bat an eyelid, and no one's really going to care. And it's the fact that, somebody like Frances, who's there week in, week out, travels up and down the country kind of without fail, that people do miss her, and that they want to wish her well, and they want to go and visit her. And it's not, I think something that's really special about this football club, and is that it's your chosen family, right? They're people, I mean, some of us have got family members down there as well, don't get me wrong, but there's also that kind of element of the people that you choose to spend your time with, and everybody has their little kind of bunch of mates that they hang out with, or they go to games with, or they travel with, or whatever. But like, actually, if somebody's missing, it is noted, and it does kind of merit a response from people. And it's so nice to see, like yesterday, fans signing a card for her, the players signed a card for her, as you say, like Aggie gave her a call. That, I mean, the phone call is probably one thing, but I'm sure she treasures the voicemail as well, that she can listen back to that. Like, it's just,
notes.
and she got mentioned in his program column and everything. So it is nice, and it's that he sees that after a very short amount of time here, and that he's done that for one of our fans. It's really special, and it's not an isolated incident. In the summer, one of our fans had quite a nasty kind of cycling accident, and I said to Jonesy, I was like, oh, can you all sign this card? And he's like, oh, we'll do a shirt, right? And they all signed a shirt, which is now hanging up in their house, and it's lovely to be able to do that for people, and to kind of touch lives a little bit in that way. So it's lovely, and it's just something that makes you really proud to be part of it.
Yeah, it's and because obviously we're like, oh yeah, it's a really big thing, and they're like, 2 minutes out of my life is fine.
No,
And
exactly.
such a thing. I mean, Frances she didn't want to break confidences, but she did say that Chris had said that you've now got a contact that if you want to complain about the manager. And she was like, I don't think I'll be ever doing that. I don't think Frances has ever complained about a manager at all.
No, not her style.
But yeah, there was one thing Claire said there. I mean, we do want your money. Don't forget.
Oh no, but like, it's not.
Money, but
yeah, no, but you know what I mean. It's not. That's not the driver in that. It's that people bend over backwards to help each other, and to do those things. And I think, like, we come from a club where I know of fans who've bought other fans' season tickets during the years because they haven't been able to afford to do it, or like, it's little things like that sets it apart. And I think that, like, it's a place where people are people first, and that's really, really special. And I do think in the last kind of while that, like, that's really come to the forefront again, and I love that. Like, we've always been that way, but it's just a really special thing, which is why you and I are there however many years after going to our first game.
Yeah, too many.
Insert number here.
Big number.
But
just another little thing. Obviously, we love it. It's the outpouring. I mean, Frances was very surprised because she has her own little group of friends and the people on the coach. She didn't realise that many people actually knew her. So that's where she is. But everyone, we don't want to keep proving this. So all of you just stop being sick, having accidents, being ill. We prove it every now and then. We all love you. Just everyone be nice and healthy. Thank you very, very much.
Good shout.
Frances, we hope to see you very, very soon. Although we have been winning games.
Don't be that person. That's so mean.
Said it to her, it's fine. Right, one other little thing, and I'm going to put you on the spot here because I remember the tweet, but I didn't write down the date. Captain's Evening.
Monday, the 17th of November. This is a new one. We've not done anything like this before. So obviously we've done, like, meet the managers, and we had a few things last year, kind of on a science basis, and some other bits and pieces behind the scenes. But thought it'd be really, really nice to get kind of like some of our senior players, and I don't mean that in a rude way, like, that sounds so bad, to kind of come and chat to people. Everyone can kind of ask questions. They're going to talk about themselves, and so it should be a really, really good evening. So Jonesy, Woody and Fipsy will be there, and do come along. It's free to all supporters, so just go on the ticket website and get your ticket, so that we know that you're coming. I think it's going to be a really, really good evening, and I'm excited about this one because It was a random harebrained idea that I had, and I fully expected to be one, told no, I couldn't do it, and two, that they didn't want to, and they said yes. So
Fools.
who
Fools.
knew? Powers of
Yeah,
persuasion work well.
yeah, do the tickets because it lets everyone know how many staff to have in the bar for a start. So if only like 10 people buy a ticket, you can have one person of staff, and
You
then
can have a player
200 people.
each. No.
Exactly. But yeah, get your tickets and make sure you come along because they're always good. Right, there isn't much podcasting news. There is one little thing that I think Claire will be delighted about, based on various comments that she's made over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Rosie has relented. Sally and Lottie have persuaded her, and the beard is gone tomorrow. So
I heard that yay from behind. Oh, I feel it, Sally. I feel it.
so yeah, it'll be gone. So, but yeah, Rosie gave in. She's not very well, and I think it's a bit unfair they bullied her while she's not well. But
So,
we got it on
can
video.
I just confirm this to the listener that there will be no Father Christmas beard from Mike this year?
It won't grow back in time, so no.
There we go. You heard it here first, people.
Exactly. The listener, thank you very much.
Well, you know,
I thought you were the listener.
yeah. I won't listen to myself, mate.
Right. The match. Going into the match, what was your expectation? Were you kind of go, yeah, I'm confident in this one? I will be honest, 2 or 3 people before the match did say they were full of confidence, which is a bit odd because we're bottom of the league. And so, okay, I don't know where that came from. But were you confident? What was your expectations? And what did you think of the lineup? Or was there any surprises in the lineup or out of the lineup for you?
I don't think any surprises with the lineup as such. Like, yeah, I don't think there was anything there for me that was like, oh, that's unexpected. I've kind of got to the point where I stopped. This sounds really bad because you know that I've been this like toxic positivity person for quite a while, being like, it's going to be amazing, and genuinely believing that as well. I think I've just kind of got to a space where I'm like, it will be what it will be, and I'm just learning to kind of like hand it over to the universe and trust the process. But it felt like there felt like a nice little buzz around, and I think because of having won a couple before, I did have a little bit of my optimism sneaking back in, and I think that there is. I've always said it, haven't I? Like when it clicks, this lot are going to be something to behold, and I do think that there's definitely an element of that, and it's finding the right pieces of the jigsaw and how it fits together. And I do think we're slowly getting there, and playing around with it and trying some different pieces. So I was quietly confident, which is an odd feeling of late.
Very good. I've got to say, one of the other people that said it was your brother, Dave. He also said it.
Whoa, Dave was positive.
And one of the things he did say during the game, he said, never really been convinced with Jaden out wide, but every time I kind of think I'm not convinced, he kind of scores or creates a goal. It's like, okay, that's why we pay to watch football. I've said several times, this whole team, individually, I'm like, I can see everything. I can see it, but there was something missing.
And I think that's the thing that we found frustrating for a really long time, right? Is that like actually individually there is so much potential, there's so much brilliance, and if what it created was the sum of all of those parts, then it should have been fireworks from the offset of the season, which I know, look what I did there. But it never really hit those notes, and I think now we're getting to a point where some of those things are starting to really gel, and it feels like we can start to move in a slightly different way. So yeah, like on paper it's always been like, why not? So it's exciting.
Well, one of the missing pieces, we'll come back to the fireworks joke. One of the missing or the slight changes I didn't think he would play, but we signed Eastleigh's captain, and so I was like, well, that'd be a bit weird if he suddenly lines up against his team. But have you had a chat with him yet? I mean, I know he's
Yeah, so I met him on Tuesday, forgetting which day it was. Yeah, really nice guy, really nice guy. Like excited to be here and whatnot. Yeah, just it's a very brief chat, but yeah, really nice guy. And I do think there was he displayed a touch of class yesterday for me, where after the game he went and stood by the dugout and he shook every single like Eastleigh player's hand on their way off. Like I just like I love that. Like that was that's when people do gestures like that, it really just shows what kind of an individual they are. It's a bit like when we were at Wembley and Matt stood there and shook every single person's hand as they came down with their winners medal. Like that, it's a touch above. So yeah, excited to have something new to see what happens. I kind of thought he might play yesterday, but gentleman's agreement and all that. So maybe we're all just a lot more polite than I want us to be.
Could have played first half for them, second half for us.
Awkward.
Not sure that worked. But yeah, what was it Terry said? He's a really nice guy, but he's a bit of a. Do you want to say it on the pitch?
Oh, I'm not saying that.
But
that's what we need.
Do we need a nice guy? And he was like, "Oh, he's not a nice guy on the pitch." No.
Yeah, but that's what you want, right? Someone who's like, you want that from all of your players, is that you want to be able to have a nice conversation with them, and them to know that they're decent human beings and that they're all, getting on and there's a great camaraderie, like off the pitch and in the dressing room or whatever. That they've got each other's backs on the pitch and that they go into battle effectively. Like, I don't want someone in the team who's going to be like, no, after you.
Well, he's had an impact already, because obviously we announced him on Friday and we won our league game, on Saturday. So we could just sit back and go, well, I don't really need to play. I can just sit here and everything's going well. But we played well in that first half. There's always moments, but we played well. We kind of, I think Jaden said, dominated them. And so we've already kind of half spoken about his goal. Not his goal, his assist, where he had a great shot, and something that hasn't been happening. He's often been followed in, and Dave's got the goal from that rather than his wonderful wing play or anything like that.
Yeah.
He's got the goal. So how were you feeling at 1-0? Were you like, here we go, push on, or were you getting the proper Sutton?
I mean, I'm still slightly in that space, I won't lie. But I think there were just flashes yesterday where you just think, oh, that could have been something. And I think like the scoreline could quite easily have been something quite, bigger than what it was. Like there was some absolute like screamers that you think just, how did that not go in?
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I felt a lot more confident than perhaps I have been of late. I just think there were some times where things got cleared off the line and you're a bit like, actually, like the defense is really starting to defend, which is something that we've been conceding quite a lot. So
yeah, I mean, Aggie's been quite clear on that, where the defense has got to be better, and then he suddenly went, that doesn't mean the defenders, that means the everyone is.
We should start playing total football.
A lot of people are like, oh yeah, we need to clear out our defence. Like, no, we don't. They're all right. They just need help. But Simps then decided to score his 7th, I believe, of the season. Well, he told me it's his 7th, so I'm going to believe him. He might
believe him. Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. But 2-0 up. I'll be honest. I was sitting there going, please score before half time. Please score another one before half time, because I was like, we were 2-0 up a couple of weeks ago, and it went to pot second half.
And I thought it was coming. I'm really surprised it didn't happen, if I'm honest. Like, I felt quite comfortable at 2-0 in a way that I haven't felt for quite some time.
Were you expecting them after the second half? Because I would have been, if it was us, 2-0 down to a team that's kind of been fairly fragile. Why weren't they camped in launching the ball into our area for the first 10-15 minutes? But they kind of didn't. It didn't. The onslaught didn't come. Was that when you were starting to feel confident? Is that the kind of time frame of, oh, here we go?
You do. You kind of expect someone to go in at halftime and have this kind of like absolute bastard conversation of like, you're going to do this and this is how it's going to be and change the world kind of thing. And as you say, like it didn't really feel like that. So much so that like when they did score, I was a bit like, oh,
Oh,
okay,
we're only
that,
two.
excuse me, like no,
Well,
yeah,
surely before that moment,
uh-huh.
we had a very good shout, I think, for a penalty.
Mm,
And I'm not sure. I mean, Eden was down and there was concern about his face. He had to come off. So I didn't actually
mhm.
see what happened. Frakey's take on it was that it was awful positioning from the ref because she was a short person like him, and you've got to move around if you're short. Um, and it was
Okay.
like, okay, she can't help being short. But it was like if you'd moved position, you probably would have seen it. Blah blah blah. But after that, obviously, much concern about Eden, but they went up and got a penalty. Um, Muller got booked for the penalty, and I'm thinking it must be for time wasting because it was
Hmm.
Aaron Pierre on the ball, and he weren't going to do nothing with that ball. So what was the point of fouling him? It was just wasting time, Hayden.
Mm.
Um, but did you know? Did you wonder what was going on with Tommy Reed's booking at the time? Did you see it or at the
So
time?
I
Time.
didn't really understand what was going on, if I'm being entirely honest, because I was like, I don't get what the point of that was. But then me and Vicky asked Harry, and Harry explained it to us, and you know, we had a learning moment. Um, but essentially, like, it's just it's laughable sometimes the way that the referees interact with goalkeepers, because it's like you book him in that situation, fine, whatever. You spend most of the game, and I don't think this really happened yesterday, but quite often they spend most of the game telling the keeper to hurry up and then not really booking them until maybe like the 85th minute when it doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah,
Book them in the first half and then it will stop because
yeah.
they're on a card and they're not going to do it again. Like it's an odd one. I always find that with kind of interaction, if I'm
Yeah.
honest.
I mean, it is. It's Tommy's third game, and I think his second yellow for us because he got one last week for the other night for a time wasting.
We're not going to be getting any Playfair
Yeah,
awards this
still
season, are
discipline. What's going on with it?
we?
I think I had a very quick look through the fixtures to try and work out how many penalties we've given away this season.
It's a lot.
It is a lot, but
Mm,
I know Jack saved one, and I was literally just going through all the fixtures trying to see how many penalties we've conceded, and we've conceded 7 from what I've
mm.
seen. And I'm like, I'm sure we're up to double figures because it seems like
I,
we're
it
giving away a
feels.
penalty every viewing.
I think it feels like more because we've had several penalty shootouts as well, haven't we? Do
Oh,
we not
yeah,
have one of those? Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that kind of sticks in your
Possibly.
mind a little bit. But I don't know. Like it does feel like a disproportionate amount
Yeah, and I
given.
know I was literally glancing through the BBC one, and someone's going to go, "No, it was 13 penalties we've given away or something." But who knows?
It feels more than
Um,
that, if I'm honest.
it does. It does. So at this point,
Hmm.
2-1, we are
Yes.
now suddenly on that thing of, oh, we were quite comfortable, and there's only, oh, hang on a minute, we weren't quite as comfortable as we thought we were.
Hmm.
Um, that last sort of 20 minutes or whatever it was, that was an odd match of football because I spent most of the time thinking we're going to lose this, or not going to lose it. We're going to give away a draw and all the rest of it. But we had chance after chance after chance after chance, and I think we had way more chances and better chances than they had.
Mm.
But it still felt like we were holding on. Do you think we were holding on? Do you think we were seeing out the game nicely,
Ooh,
or
that's quite a
somewhere in,
loaded question, isn't it?
or somewhere in the middle?
Somewhere in the middle. Get off the fence. No, I did feel like we were battling for it. I didn't. It didn't feel like holding on. Like it was like we were actually like really going for something in a way that perhaps um, maybe we haven't quite seen from them before. And like I genuinely like with some of those chances, I don't understand how it didn't go in. Like, it's just like the science and the angles of it. I just don't get how that, like, there weren't more goals on the sheet, to be honest. Like, it did feel like we were really, really like
Yeah.
pressing for it. And actually it's quite a satisfying feeling, isn't it? Like when you're kind of down at the bottom, which is not somewhere any of us want to be, to like actually think, no, like, okay, I don't feel uncomfortable, which is odd because there have been instances, like a trip to Wealdstone, for example, where I did feel uncomfortable,
Yeah. It's
considerably so.
for me, in hindsight, obviously, because at the time, every time the ball crosses the halfway line, I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And I'm probably never going to change that. But in hindsight, we did look like we were sort of holding on, seeing out the game by trying to find that killer goal. Whereas
Mhm.
before, we were dropping deeper and deeper and deeper and going, let's just defend. So I think he's definitely managed to get that message in.
I do think it almost felt like we were unlucky not to have
Mm.
like capitalized on any of that. It didn't feel like, oh, we did well to keep them out of it. Like, it genuinely felt like that narrative has slightly flipped,
Yeah.
which is great.
Lots of obviously great scenes. Everyone loves winning at the end,
Mhm.
all the fist bumps and everything. Great, love it. But one very, very important stat. Let's ignore the away game for a minute because that really doesn't help what I'm about
Just
to
that.
say.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have to ignore that fact. But the yellow coat came out for Farnham.
Do you know what? So this is really funny, is that, like, why is it as football supporters that we cling to these really ridiculous things? Because I said to Tim before the game, if we win today, on the day when I've finally been able to update the Strikers a keyboard, then I hold my hands up and it is my full responsibility that we haven't been winning so far because I haven't updated that board, right? So it's which has literally nothing to do with it in any way, shape, or form. Like, people not wearing their lucky pants or wearing a different shirt or any of that stuff,
Yeah.
literally has no bearing on it. But as
On-
football supporters, we're crazy about these things.
Absolutely. On
Yeah.
Saturday's game, when I was coming down with Daniel, my nephew, he tried to cross the road a bit early.
In the wrong
for when I-
place.
Yeah, I was like, no, Daniel, we got past that box. And he was like, really? I was like, it has no bearing, but I'm not going to sit there rocking and twitching all the game. So
But we all do it, right? Like,
absolutely.
there are little
And you
things,
can't
and I'm sure,
possibly- yeah,
yeah,
none of it
you
can
can't
work.
contribute to them. Yeah, no, like, it's not,
Yellow
it
card.
genuinely doesn't have a bearing on the game, but it does in our minds.
Yeah, except the yellow coat. Yellow coat, definitely.
Sure.
It's got something to do with it. Right, we're off the bottom.
Yes. 17
Yay.
points off the playoffs, mate. It's on.
Why? That's coming. That was coming.
Oh, sorry. I killed it. I'm sorry. Just pretend it never
Yeah.
happened. Start again.
Damn it. Right, yeah, we're off the bottom. We're still in relegation
Great.
zone. Off bottom on goal difference. Big month.
Mhm.
So all the fun old games, love winning games, obviously, but very, very big month. We've got Morecambe, who are bottom of the league. How useless are they? They're bottom of the league. So we're way at Morecambe, and they've had kind of fairly mixed. They poor results, and they chuck in a good one every now and then, just enough to make you think, oh God. So that's on Saturday. Then we've got Halifax, who are currently ninth, so they're the highest team we're going to face, but we've got that at home.
Mhm.
Then Truro away, which I think a lot of people are looking forward to, not necessarily about the
That's going to be a
football.
great trip. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Gateshead, as I've written here, Gateshead, who are Truro 23rd,
Mhm.
and Gateshead are 17. So 3 of those games are against teams in and around us. I don't know if Chris does this or not, or does the whole next game thing, but what would you be looking at to say, this is the return I want? That's 2 home games, 2 away games in the month. What would you be hoping for out of that? What would be, 12 would be amazing, obviously, but what would you be targeting?
I should say 12 would be amazing, right? Like,
Mhm.
I'd want to win at least 2, if not 3 of them. from my perspective, I think you kind of go into a space of like, okay, let's forget where anyone else is. Don't look at the table. Don't worry about them. Worry about us, and think about our game and what we're going to do and how we're going to go out there and win this. And I do feel like there's a confidence lift, there's a shoulders lift, like things are going that way. So actually, like, and you also have the advantage now of the arrogance of people going, oh well, they're just down there.
Yeah.
It's just little Sutton United, and they're down the bottom, so it doesn't really matter. And people not necessarily bringing, their A game because the likes of Sutton, right? So exactly. Well, we were never a pub team. Let's not start that argument. But like, there is that arrogance to it of like people underestimate you because they look at what they can see from a a mathematical perspective, and they go, they're not going to bother us. And actually, you take that and you show them why that's a stupid way to be, because anyone can have their day, right? And if you can, and we've said it a lot, if anyone could predict what's going to happen in a game of football, like, we wouldn't watch it. It would be boring, right? But anything can happen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for 12. There we go.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go for 7. No. This is what I'm like.
Okay.
7 is going to be like really good, and if that 7 points, if the one loss out of that 7 points comes against Halifax, it will be almost perfect because the rest of them means we've taken points off people around us. Actually, going to take a step back because we're talking about the keeper getting booked, and we both knew why, and then I didn't explain it. Apparently, the rules changed that the keepers aren't allowed to do that jumping around, touching the posts or the crossbar, and she did talk to him, and then went back and he did it again. So whether she talked to him and said, you mustn't do that, and
I didn't see her have a conversation to start with, but
I don't think it was a long one. I think it was like she must have said something like, stop that, and he might not have realised what she meant by stopping.
Stop that.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, as somebody gave away, we are only 17 points off the playoffs, which sounds mad when you played 17 games and chuck out the words only. But I will always hark back to when we were 20 odd points behind Eastleigh.
I've heard a lot of chat of that this season, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because that happened. Like, you can't deny that happened. And so far, Aggie's given us no reason to believe that he's not a man of his word. And, week 1, he looked me in the eye and he told me we were making the playoffs, and he shook my hand on it. So quite frankly, who am I to disbelieve him? And he said to me, what happens if that doesn't happen? And I said, well, I'm just going to come and sit in your office and cry. And he went, oh, I don't want that. So motivation, emotional blackmail. There we go.
I mean, I know he said it, and I'm delighted that he said it, but I'm wondering if we might need to explain to him what we tend to do in the playoffs. But let's worry about that later down the line.
Eventually, it has to go our way, right? It can't always be like that. So who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe he'll just go, actually, I've just looked into your record. We're not going to get to the playoffs. I can't be bothered with that. I can't take the heartbreak. We'll get 10th. Right, we're going to quickly skip that bit. We're going to go quickly for a prediction. Oh, I haven't done the bloody AI prediction. I don't know what it is. But what do you think for the Morecambe game? What's your prediction?
Something tells me that it's going to either be really, really dull and quite lowly in score, or it's actually going to be some ridiculous goal fest because it's going to be like two sides really battling it out. So I'm going to do something crazy.
Someone said defensively, even, they're not very good. They've got a good attack, but not a good defense. And up until fairly recently, you could say very similar about us. So with that, 0-0.
No. I'm going to go crazy. I think we are going to win 4-2.
4-2. Wow.
There we go.
Okay,
you heard it here first.
I'm going to go that we're going to keep a clean sheet. And I'm going to say
that costs us money.
saved a lot on the clean sheets.
Or
over
the
the
clean
season.
sheet bonuses. Don't be
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I've had a conversation like this at work. Is we're having to pay an outside company to do something because I've just gone, I can't do it, and it's like, oh, it's going to cost money, and I was like, I've been doing two people's job for nearly 9 months. You've saved money, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Crack on.
Yeah. I could get a lot more stuff if I wanted to. But anyway, I don't know what AI is going to put, so I'll just enter that somewhere and put it somewhere so people don't moan that I didn't tell them what it said. I don't want AI to win this competition, but do you know what? Neither of us had dinner, so let's wrap it up. Sorry, I was going. Let's go. It's 7:45. No one's eaten yet, so we're going to wrap up this episode of Sutton Podcast. As always, we appreciate everyone's ear, attention, and feedback. Follow, like, share, all the other stuff, and subscribe. Give me a review. Give me a thumbs up. All the rest of it. But thank you to Lucky Star Gin for sponsorship. Thank you to Claire for coming on a Thursday. It's just so confusing.
So rogue.
That was what we were going to talk about. The gate was 1700 last night, which pretty good, considering I think there was Champions League on. It was a Wednesday, and that doesn't suit everyone's.
And it was firework night.
And it was fireworks night, and I wanted you to be able to talk about the fireworks.
I know I love the fireworks. Genuinely, if that is one way to make me happy, take me to a firework display, which is really quite sad at my age, but it's just pretty. Although, drone ones now are equally as good.
Yeah.
You just don't get the bangs. But we'll just skip any jokes we could have made there, right? I shouldn't have said it. But the other thing we didn't talk about is the excitement of a TV game.
Oh yeah. We got
I know we want dinner, don't get me wrong. I definitely want to go and make the risotto I'm meant to be making. But live on BBC Two.
Perfect. Late kickoff though.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, it won't make Paul happy because it means he has to use the flash and all this kind of stuff. But live on BBC Two, what's not to like?
And more time to hydrate before the game so we can make lots of noise.
Book yourself in for hospitality, have a cracking meal, come on down, have some drinks, build in the atmosphere. What's not to like? Make a day of it.
Exactly. We'll get some of the I don't know all the players who've played for both clubs. I mean, it's Aaron, but hey. And Aidan played for both clubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anyone else, but we'll do something like that. Okay, we've wrapped up. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks. I've done Lucky Star Gin and Claire. Thanks for the listeners. And hope you've enjoyed this podcast. Take care, and we will catch up soon. Bye-bye.
United! 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 United!